Before you define your why, you must first understand, define your why. From the age of 16 and 35 years, series of developmental stages. We have social development, physical development, emotional development, and biological development. These stages fall within late adolescence and early adulthood. In the late adolescence, the age 16 and 19, that my guess that cover my guess, between the age of 16 and 19 is the late adolescent stage. Mark the transition from childhood to adulthood. Individual experience rapid physical and psychological maturation, identity exploration, and emotional sensitivity. At this stage, self-awareness enabling the strength and aspiration, forming the foundation for discovering a meaningful sense of purpose. Then, age 20 to 24, adulthood, when an individual is crossing from the adolescent stage of development, so the stage of identity, crossing from the stage of identity to emerging adulthood. This stage is characterized by exploration in love, work, and worldview. Young adult experience with career choice, education, and lifestyle, often accompanied by instability and self-discovery. They strive for independence, they try to have their freedom, financial stability, and meaningful connection, while developing emotional regulation and responsibility. Abilities such as abstract reasoning and problem solving reach their peak. Developing deeper self-awareness help young align their evolving identity with purposeful goal in education, career, and relationship. Then the final one within the demographic that we are covering this evening is the early adulthood between the age 25 focus on establishing stable career, long-term relationship, and possibly starting families. They seek to achieve life goals, balance work and personal life, and solidify their identity. Identity that was developed during the adolescent stage. Between the age 25 to 35, an individual tries to solidify it. I hope you are getting me. Hello, my guest. My young friends, you are getting me right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this identity, so this stage of development
Yes,
between
sir.
25 years and 35 years, there is a great psychologist called Erickson. Describe it as the stage of intimacy and isolation, where success leads to strong relationship and commitment, while failure may result in loneliness and emotional struggle. Maturity, self-awareness, and purpose become more defined at this stage of development. Heightened self-awareness guide individual in making intentional life choices, allowing them in pursuing purpose-driving careers, relationship, and personal fulfillment with clarity and confidence. So let me round up this segment of introduction that the emphasis has been captured by Erickson. He said that is the stage of intimacy and isolation. So achieving your purpose, so achieving your purpose will enable you to be satisfied. So enable you to have intimacy with your co-human being, with your environment. Let me emphasize before we go into the main topic. According to psychology, human being is made up of so the two work together. So they work together before human being can become a functional being in the environment. And this topic capture the mirror within, understanding yourself before defining purpose. That is self-awareness. Your self-awareness is very, very important. What do we mean by self? The self refers to the totality of an individual's thought, feeling, perception, and attitude about who they are. It represents a person's sense of identity and individuality, how one perceives and evaluates oneself in relation to the world. A psychologist often view the self as a multidimensional construct that includes three key components. One, we have the self-concept. The self-concept, that is the cognitive aspect, which encompasses overall perception and understanding of yourself, including your trait, ability, and social role. As I've mentioned about heredity and environment, when we are talking about the trait, we are referring to the heredity that is inbuilt, the innate tendency in you. So when the behaviorism came out with their theories, they emphasized on the environmental factor. But when the cognitive came up, they emphasized on the insight. So that human being is not a tabula rasa. Human being is not an empty slate. Human being is born with a cognitive structure. So you have a cognitive structure. That is the reservoir of knowledge in you. It's an innate in you. Within you, there is another world. So there is another world in you entirely that you can travel into the inner world in you. I hope I'm communicating. Hello, my guest. So within you, there is an inner world. So there's emphasis in the self-concept there. So emphasizing about the trait, so emphasizing about the ability and the social role. Like the hereditary material composition in human, so in human start with the genetic material inherited from an individual parents, specifically the DNA contained in the gamete, that is the sperm and the egg cell. The genetic material determines the unique trait and the characteristics of an individual, influencing factors such as physical, emotional, psychological, biological attributes in an individual. So when we are talking about the self-concept, in the inner world, there is a trait there in you, there is a trait within you that you can travel into, the self-concept. Self-esteem, that is the evaluative aspect, reflecting how much value or what individual place on themselves. That is the evaluation and appraisal of your self-worth. Of your self-worth. Your self-worth is not what you measure within the environment. It's what you measure within you, traveling into inside you, inside the world in you. The third one is the self-esteem, the evaluative aspect, reflecting how much value or what individual place on themselves. So, and not your charisma, not how you are very attracted to people. So, it's not your charisma. So, so the emphasis here about the self-identity. So about the self-esteem is evaluative value or what individual place on themselves. Within yourself, you travel inward. inward and measure your value. Measure your value. So the third one is a self-identity. That is a social and cultural aspect shaped by experience, relationship, and group affiliation. That is your mental picture of yourself. Your mental picture of yourself. Before you can come out with your mental picture of yourself, you have to travel inward within yourself. The reason why people are developing many irrational issues today is because of the external judgment. People focus more on external judgment and fail to go into the inner world within them. I hope I'm communicating. My guests, are we there?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, sir.
It is important. It is important to note the significance of the self as a central to personality and motivation, distinguishing between the real self and the ideal self. The real self and ideal self. What do we mean by the real self? So the real self is who we are. So who we are is the real self. And the ideal self is who we want to be. So who we want to be is the ideal self. So how we can differentiate between these two? So the real self and the ideal self, whom we are and whom we want to be is very, very important. So it is very, very, very important. So in essence, the self serve as the psychological framework through which people interpret their experience, regulate, find their purpose in life. Self-awareness is also very, very significant. Self-awareness refers to an individual's capacity to consciously recognize, understand, and reflect upon the experience and behavior So it involves turning one attention to inward to evaluate oneself as distinct and autonomous being, separate from others and the surrounding environment. Within the psychological discourse, self-awareness is regarded as a vital element in achieving self-actualization. The process of realizing one's highest potential and authentic self is very, very important. In essence, self-awareness acts as an internal mirror, is internal mirror, reflecting not just how we but how we are at the deepest level. Not how we appear, but how we are at the deep level. It allows us to confront our authentic self without fake, bridging the gap between how we live and who we are meant to be. How we live and who we are meant to be. It's reflecting about our real self and our ideal self. Our real self is how we live, while our ideal self and is how we supposed to be. How we supposed to be. Many young people today are driven by external validation. So they want people to praise them, appraisal from the environment. So they want people to applaud them. So their main target is external validation, and they neglected their internal world. Like, so what they need now is how people like them, their followers, the grade they have in the school, and how people applaud them, mistaking this for sign of purpose. All these one are not the sign of purpose. However, purpose is not found in the noise of public approval. Purpose is not found in the noise of public approval, but in the silence of self-reflection. When you understand yourself, your passion, fear, belief, and natural inclination, you begin to align your life with your inner truth. This alignment is what transforms mere existence into intentional living. Without self-awareness, imitation rather than inspiration. Let me rewind back to mere existence and intentional living. Mere existence. Let me rewind that statement that this alignment is what transforms mere existence into intentional living. Mere existence is just like going through the motion, waking up, walking without defined purpose in your life, without any goal, is a mere existence. It is like you are on autopilot, that you are comfortable and the machine is moving in motion without you directing it. Why intentional living is when you are purposeful about how you live your life, making conscious choice, setting goals for yourself, and pursuing your goal, pursuing your passion. It is like you are driving a bus and not just so for this age bracket. This internal, so let me come out again. So the journey of self-awareness begin with introspection. This means setting aside time for reflection and honest self-questioning. Honest. The question from the external environment may be fake. So whatever your friend classify you, it may be fake. Whatever the society classify you may be fake. The only true classification is what comes from inner world within you. So what comes from within you? So what drives me? So you have to ask question. Ask yourself, what drives me? What are my values? What am I passionate about? What am I afraid of? Such question pierce the surface of self-deception and reveal the authentic self hidden beneath social mask. This one cannot be masked. The reality about you will come out. You ask yourself question and you give the answer concern you, concern your personality, concern your weakness, concern your strength within you. That is where you can come out with your purpose. As Socrates, one of our pioneer educationists, Socrates once said, the is not worth living. Unexamined life is not worth living. If you are not evaluating yourself, you do not ask yourself questions, and you are not giving yourself true answer to you, within you, the true answer. The question you ask yourself, they will give you the true answer without faking the answer. That is why the Socrates say that the unexamined life is not worth living. To discover purpose, you must first examine your life. Examine your life, your motive, your belief, and your deepest yearning. But self-awareness is not perfection. is not about perfection. You have to mark that word. Self-awareness is not about perfection. It is about honesty. It requires acknowledging both your light and your shadow, acknowledging your strength and your weakness. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. When one of our educationists, Sigmund Freud, came out with a theory came out with a theory that human being is made up of three components: id, ego, and superego. That id is inborn, is irrational, is barbaric, is not objective, is subjective, without thinking before it go into action. So if it dominate in individual's life because it's inborn, ego develop from id and superego develop from ego. So if individual's life dominated with this id and they perform action before they discover the consequence of the action, such individual will not have a better purpose in life. When you are not reasoning of navigating identity, relationship, and career choice, yet the pressure of figure it all out often lead to confusion or frustration. The key is to approach self-understanding and a lifelong process, not one-time event. You are a work in progress. You are a project in progress, constantly evolving. And each phase of your life reveal a new dimension of who you are becoming, who you are going to become. That is the real being in you, the real living. So not whom you are, whom you will become. That is the real. So I'm not the real. We are working towards the real. So we are working towards the ideal and not the real. The real is whom we are now, but we are working towards the ideal living. So whom we are, so and whom we will be. So whom we're supposed to be is the ideal living. So another dimension of self-awareness involves understanding your value, the principle that guide your decision. Purpose without value become directionless. Without value, you have no any direction at all at all. So contradict your value. No achievement will bring satisfaction. You're not supposed to contradict your value. Your purpose and your value supposed to be in alignment. If your purpose contradict your value, no achievement will bring satisfaction. Therefore, to define purpose, you must first define your value. Defining your value is very, very important. It is also important to cultivate mindfulness, the ability present to stay present and aware of your thought and emotion without judgment, without any environmental accusation. The, so purpose emerges naturally when self-awareness matured. It is not something you find outside yourself, but something you realize within yourself. Your purpose is the interaction between your talent, passion, and the world. Truly know whom you are. You stop asking, what should I do? So if you are asking the question, what should I do? That means you don't know whom you are. And start living the answer through your action. Let people see the action. Let the action come out, not to be asking yourself, what should I do? Purpose then become not just a goal, but a way of being. Purpose is a way of being, a lifestyle of meaning, contribution, and authenticity. However, self-awareness requires courage. The courage of the courage to confront your fear, the courage to confront, question your assumption, and embrace your imperfection. It demands humility, patience, and emotional maturity. But the reward is profound. The word clarity, direction, and inner peace. Those who understand themselves do not get lost in the crowd. If you understand yourself, you cannot get lost in the crowd. And how can you understand yourself? It's not to base it on the people's judgment. It's not people's evaluation. It's how you can go into your inner world. Go to your inner world and come out with the result. Then you know whom you are. So they walk constantly in their truth, anchored in values, and guided by purpose. To every young person here this evening, I urge you to pursue and look inward. Pursue and look inward. So many always try to want people to appraise them, to applaud them. They'll be playing ball. The attention will be how people will be celebrating them. The audience, they cannot perform well. Try to have focus. Deviate from the environment. Focus on inward. Sure. That you can break. So opening in the environmental factor. So I anchor this topic on cognitive theory. So that is the schema, the cognitive structure in us. So the reservoir of knowledge is in human being. When a child is born, they will not train that child how to cry before the child begin to cry. They will not teach the child how to show breast before the child begin to show breast. Why? Because of the cognitive structure. So the reservoir of knowledge, the inner world in the child will allow the child to function well. Practically, living with an unlocked purpose change how individuals set priorities, make decisions, and respond to challenges. It provides direction and resilience, helping them remain motivated even in the face of obstacles because their actions are guided by a clear sense of why. A clear sense of why. For example, for instance, a young entrepreneur who realizes that their purpose is to empower others through innovation will approach business not just as a means of income, but as a platform for transformation. In this sense, purpose unlock become a compass for personal growth and societal contribution, turning everybody effort into meaningful progress towards a life of fulfillment and impact. They will make an impact into individual's life. Purpose unlock is very, very significant. That is, it refers to moment an individual gain a clear understanding of their unique reasons for existence. Their unique reason of existence. Two individuals can never be the same. You are unique in nature. You are not a photocopy. So you are unique in nature. Something important is bestowed in your life. All is left for you to dig it out from the reservoir of knowledge that we call it a cognitive structure in you. So no child is absolutely zero. No individual is zero. So God has bestowed good things in us through our parents. So to discover it is the most important thing. A point where personal strength, passion, and value align with meaningful goals. It is not merely about discovering what one loves to do, but about recognizing how one's ability can contribute and create value to the world. For young people, unlocking purpose often begin with self-reflection, mentorship, exposure to diverse experience that reveal what really inspire them. This awakening transforms confusion into clarity, enabling individuals to channel their energy towards pursuit that resonate deeply with their sense of identity and their life vision. From both practical and psychological perspective, the mirror within, understanding yourself before defining purpose, emphasize the need for deep self-reflection as the foundation for discovering one's life direction. Psychologically, self-understanding involves exploring one's thought, emotion, motivation, strength, weakness. It is through this introspective process that individuals become aware of their true identity beyond societal expectation or external influence. Before defining purpose, one must first confront the mirror within. Before you can define your purpose, you have to confront the mirror within. What is the mirror within? Your cognitive structure, your reservoir of knowledge that is stored in you. You are carrying it. So what will define your purpose is within you. It's not outside. Your strength, your ability, your weakness, all those things, they are within you. The truth is from you. It's not from external evaluation. This internal reflection that review who they are at their core. Without this awareness, purpose may be based on imitation, pressure, or confusion rather than authenticity. So, like if the purpose become imitation by observation, so it has a limitation. Because if somebody serve as your role model, where the person stop, that is where you stop. If you are observing somebody and you are following the person's path, so where the person stop, automatically you are going to stop there. But when you concentrate on your own cognitive structure, so when you dwell on your own inner mirror, what God has bestowed in you, a sky will be your starting point. You will become unstoppable. So from the psychological standpoint, this process aligns with concepts such as Rosas' theory of self and Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Rosa emphasized the importance of self-concept and the importance of self-concept, that living in alignment with one's authentic self. Living in alignment with one's authentic self. So you know whom you are. You'll be able to define yourself. You know your limitations. You know your strength. You know your weaknesses. So Abraham Maslow also suggested that self-actualization, the highest level of human motivation, can only be achieved when that purpose, so can only be achieved when individuals truly understand themselves and fulfill their intrinsic potential. So his emphasis about the theory of motivation. Motivation that always bring out a very good result is intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation, when you are doing something because you know the value why you are doing it. You are not doing it because of the stimulation. You are not doing it because of the stimulus. You are not doing it because of the reinforcement. You are not doing it because of the reward. You are doing it because it's worth doing. That because it is necessary for you to do it. So, Abraham Maslow emphasized on this one. Before you can reach your self-actualization, you have to visit your inner mirror. Visit your inner mirror. Ultimately, understanding yourself before defining purpose. Ensure that your goals are not merely reaction to external pressure, but reflection of genuine passion and conviction. So we can relate this one to intrinsic motivation. That is not a reflection of external pressure. It's not a reflection of a reward. Some people that have reached their peak in life, some of them, they will not put it, they are not desperate about the wealth. They are not desperate about what they will have. So what they are desperate to do is to tell you what they can do. Just tell the world what you can do to change the world. In the process of doing what you can do to change the world, every other things will come to you. Every other things will follow it. But if you are desperate, you want to be rich, you want to have to work in an oil company, you want to be this, you want to be that, just learn this principle. What can I offer to my society? What can I do to change this world? So that is a intrinsic motivation, what you can contribute, not what you can receive. Ultimately, understanding yourself before defining purpose, ensure that your goals are not merely reaction to external pressure, but reflection of genuine passion and conviction. It empowers individuals to live intentionally and make decisions consistent with their values. Practically, this inner clarity leads to confidence, direction, and resilience, qualities that sustain one through life's inevitable challenges. The mirror within is not a one-time glass, but a continuous practice of reflection, adjustment, and growth. Only one consistently engaging with this inner mirror can individual craft a purpose that is both personally fulfilling and socially impactful. In conclusion, understanding yourself before defining purpose is the foundation of psychological maturity and lifelong fulfillment. The mirror within is not a place of judgment, but of revelation. Is a place of revelation. It's not a place of judgment. It's not a place of condemnation. It is when you condemn yourself, that is when you become stagnated. So your inner mirror is not there for you to condemn yourself. There are many things you can do. Whatever you cannot do is because of your uniqueness. What you can do, there are many. We have individual differences. All of us can never be the same. Don't compare yourself with anybody. So in your inner schema, in your cognitive structure, contain many things that you can do, other people cannot do. That is why Bloom taxonomy of educational objective, they came up with 3 objectives that our school are adopting it today in our children's report card. That is the cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. Nobody is absolutely zero. There are some people that are using affective domain that are great today. Affective domain say, why the husband love her like this? This senator, yeah, the wife, so the wife is controlling him. It's not that the wife is controlling him. It is the charm of the inner mirror, the affective domain that is removing the husband. The husband cannot do without her. But today, people are pushing their blame on external factors, pushing their blame on their grandmother, pushing their blame on their uncle. So instead of revisiting your inner mirror, your cognitive structure, so what is dwell there? What is my character? What is my behavior? How do I relate with people around me? So try to judge yourself. Not other people will judge you. You are the one to judge yourself. Because this bracket that are my audience between the age of 16 and age of 35 is a significant stage of development. Very, very, very significant. Where the friends will be reduced. Immediately you enter a late adolescent stage, individual's friend will be reduced. It will be condensed because of the sacred. So they will have one friend or highest two friends. So they will not have more than two friends because they have the sacred. They have to plan for their career. They have to plan for their matrimonial home and other things. As they enter emerging adulthood, the early adulthood between 20 and 24, you can see that that period is where individuals try to select their career. It's a sensitive stage of development. Very, very sensitive. Try to look for their career, so how to settle down for matrimonial home, and so on and so forth. What course am I going to read? They have to visit their inner mirror to interpret the course that they have ability to read, not what the guardian's counselor wants you to read. Within you, you know your capability. You know your ability, what you can do. My time is going. Let me round up. My audience, I'm very sorry that I crossed my boundaries small, very small. Let me round up. So this stage of development is very, very significant. When there is the early adulthood between 25 years and 35 years, when individual try to settle down, try to do something reasonable for their life, is the time that individual try to have established a stable career, long-term relationship, and possibly starting their family is a very significant stage of development. So, understanding your inner mirror is very, very significant. Look deeply, reflect honestly, and grow intentionally. In knowing yourself, you unlock the wisdom to live purposefully, love deeply, and lead meaningfully. And remember, the greatest journey you will ever take is not across the world. The greatest journey you will make on this earth is not inside the car, it's not inside your motorcycle. The greatest journey that you make in this world is within your own mind. It's within your own mind and your heart. That is the greatest journey that you make in life. So, the mirror within reminds us that true purpose begins with profound self-understanding. Before striving to define what we are meant to do, we must first know who we truly are, our value, our passion, and inner motivation. Self-awareness acts as the compass. It's a compass that gives us direction, that aligns our action with authenticity, ensuring that our pursuits are not shaped by external expectation, but by inner conviction. When we take the time to reflect deeply and embrace both our strength and imperfection, we unlock the clarity needed to live purposefully. Ultimately, the journey towards purpose is not about finding something outside ourselves. It's not looking for something outside ourselves, but recovering the truth that has always resided within you, is very close to you. As they say that God is very close to us than our hand. So our inner mirror is very, very close. To discover your purpose in life is very, very close to you. It's not to be looking outside
and attaching your blame to people unnecessarily. Look at your inner mirror, your cognitive structure, your reservoir of knowledge within you. You will be able to make success in life. You are going to have a good matrimonial home. You are going to have a very good career. You are going to have a very good relationship in your environment. You are going to be a leader in this country. You are going to make a change in your generation. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you, my audience. Hello? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. the,
My guest, my dear young friends, my dear young friends,
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good
Yes, sir,
evening,
we can
sir.
hear you. Good evening.
good evening, my dear young friends. I'm highly appreciated seeing you
Good
on this platform.
evening.
Thank you so much for the session, sir.
Hello, I'm listening. Okay. Okay, thank you, my professional colleague, concerning the career. That's why I was emphasizing it that your inner mirror cannot be something is very, very significant. It's not something, that's why I brought out the significance psychosexual theory of personality development, bringing the id. We should not be emotional when we are dealing with our career. What is affecting most people today is being emotional, being emotional. So the inner mirror doesn't um, doesn't try to align with emotionality of an individual. So you to go into computer science instead of law, and law and computer, they are not in alignment based on your question. Computer science is a science course, but while law is a art course. So within the age, so that's why I'm very, very interested in your demographic coverage between the age 16 to 35. So in secondary school, that is SS3, individual, so even SS1, individual will begin to factor into their purpose in life from SS1. That going to business, going to art course, going to science course, and so on and so forth. From SS1, they'll begin to define their purpose in life based on their capability. And that, so this their ability is what comes from inward. It is what comes from inward that will see the outcome in the result. So that's why we say the grade, you cannot use grade to applaud yourself. So what is inside? So as they are doing this science course, there are many disciplines in the science course. So as they are going on, after they reach SS3 and they want to go to university, that is where the greatest challenge will come. Within the student will have interest in a particular course, and there will be no admission in that course. So the student may be denied
admission in a particular course that the student has passion. But that one cannot stop that student. We can see many people today, they didn't even go to all this secular institution. They went to vocational education. Where I'm staying in Kaba today, they our landlord. They our landlord. All this Dangote we are seeing today, how many degree how many degree does he have? How many degree? Your inner your value in life, so your purpose in life, you cannot go pursuing it based on emotional. So you mentioned something that maybe is because a Christian. So I was very careful because we are carrying both Christian, Muslim, traditional people, everybody along in this program. But God is God, and God has purpose for every living being on this earth. As you have done mistake, you are in 300 level, jumping from 300 level, and you say you are going for law. It can cause confusion. It can cause anxiety. Anxiety can set in. Why not finish the computer? As you are finishing the computer, God will unlock the purpose that he allow you to read that computer science. My professional colleague, you are listening to me. Hello? Hello?
I, I,
So God will unlock it. It's not something you'll be emotional, will be running up and there. Running from computer science to law. There is no any correlation, sir. So let us use another science course. Maybe you want to go for nursing. You don't like computer science again. You want to run to nursing. Not all that glitter are gold. Before you, so God gave you that admission to go and read computer sciences. There is a purpose why you are there. So God is going to unlock that purpose for you, that you are going to prosper with that course. So we should not be emotional. We should not be jumping from one course to another. So that's why I was talking about it. So when it dominated in your life, that means so all things that you'll be thinking is self-satisfaction. How you can satisfy yourself. People are making money in nurses, they are flying overseas, they are doing that. I want to abandon computer science. That means it has already dominated in your life. Your ego has already become weakened. Your ego cannot control your id. So id now dominated the ego and super ego. So it will cause anxiety. So what you do, have a focus. Have a focus, whatever you are doing, do it well. People that read computer science, they are millionaire today. They are making in life. Depends how you visit your inner mirror. The purpose, the value you attach to the course you are reading determine where you are going. My professional colleague, are you there? In conclusion, to your question, we should not be emotional. We should not always be aspiring to self-satisfaction. Let us listen. So in Christian, they say listen to the voice of God. Listen to the voice of God. And the voice of God comes from the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit, when we come to the secular world in psychology, is what we refer as the cognitive structure in you. So the reservoir of knowledge in you will be able to direct you. So not for you to be irrational. If you are too irrational, it will generate anxiety. Thank you, my professional colleague. Uh, Thank you. Um, so I'm waiting for Joseph. I'm waiting for Joseph, waiting for Deborah, waiting for Ibrahim, waiting for Abraham. It is an interactive session. Let us interact. You are referring to me? Hello, my moderator and my organizer. My organizer. I was expecting question from one point that I raised from my audience, that a human being is made up of two components, heredity and environment. So whom you are is depend the hereditary composition and the environmental factor that you are subjected to. I was expecting question from all those directions. So even the course you are reading, so your interaction to the environment, how you react to situation, depend the hereditary composition and the environmental factor. Nothing outside those two things. So whom you are, as you are saying there, is not outside those two factors. That is heredity and environment. Is it the matrimonial home that you have the challenge? Try to look at your inner mirror, the inner mirror, based on what is in you. Your inner mirror will tell you why is that matrimonial challenge. I was telling my student, so let me use this opportunity as there's no question. So I used to tell my student, you are you are a lady, and you are between the age of 16 and this 35, and you are a born again Christian or born again Muslim. So because you are born again, so you are always staying indoor because you don't want to commit sin. You are always indoor. So because of sin, so you don't want to go to occasion, so you don't want to go to all this ceremony. You are always indoor from your house to church. So you are limited in moving out. If you are limited in moving out, you will be limited in getting married. You'll be limited in getting married. Going out to occasion is not immorality. Your inner mirror is the one that will control your behavior, the external action. Going out allow people repackage your life. Your inner mirror will allow you to repackage your life. Dress well. If possible, look for money to buy perfume. Repackage your life. So arise and shine, according to our scripture. Arise and shine. Good people will come after you. So I was surprising. I put a research before me, and I did that research recently. Why are these ladies that are involved in immorality married better husband than our born again girls? So I did the research, collect the primary data. I came out with this problem, that some of our Christian sisters are holier than Jesus. They are holier than Jesus. Even Jesus himself said, "Thou shalt not tempt the Lord your God." Try to go out, repackage yourself. You are a guy, repackage yourself. good thing will come after you. Your inner mirror, so your inner mirror will unlock your purpose. So your purpose will be unlocked. Is it the career? So you are looking for job. So looking for job, and your mouth can lock your purpose. So your mouth will lock your purpose. In the book of James, they say the tongue is one of the smallest organ in the body, but it can burn the whole world. The tongue. In your mouth, Joseph's mouth nearly destroyed his purpose and locked his purpose in life, if not his discipline, that he refused to sleep with the wife of his master. So review his dream to his review his dream to his brothers. Nearly unlock his purpose. When you are moving towards success, don't advertise it. Let the outcome advertise to people. So let the result advertise you to people. So don't tell anybody, just pursue your purpose, pursue your goal. So have a direction, and you'll be moving towards your direction. You do not owe anybody any explanation. The only person you owe the explanation is God Almighty, that you are accountable to Him. So to unlock your purpose, you have to also lock your mouth. So because of time, I could not digress to all those areas. As there is no patience, let me skip into some of the real life situations that can help us between the age of 16 and the age of 35. And another thing that will lock our purpose in life is our parent. So our parent can lock our purpose in life. How can they lock our purpose in life? The Bible say respect your honor your parents so that you can live long on this earth. As a child, carrying the hereditary composition of your parent, and you are not respecting your parent, insulting your parent, so you don't have any regard for your parent at all, even though you are prospering today. So what happened to the former Senate president in East, when they were contesting through NPN, UPN, Okadigbo? So Okadigbo and Nnamdi Azikiwe. Okadigbo was a young boy. Nnamdi Azikiwe was old man that time. When Shagari won the election and Nnamdi Azikiwe went to court, Okadigbo, being in the party of Shagari, started to mock his elder statesman, Nnamdi Azikiwe, that he's going to court is a ratting of an ant, insulting the elder. But Nnamdi Azikiwe told him that you will prosper, you will reach the peak of your career. You will reach the peak of your career, but one day you will be disgraced from that place to the ground level. The day they impeach Nnamdi Okadigbo from Senate president, that they impeach him, that they remove him, they reverse that newspaper back again in our own generation now. So what he said to Nnamdi Azikiwe and what Zik told him, what am I trying to portray? We should try to respect the elderly people. We should not invite cause on our purpose. Even though we say purpose is a word within us, outside our parents, we are carrying their genetic material. We are carrying their genetic composition. So we are just a mirror carrying what they gave us. We should not insult them. Insulting them, you are locking your purpose in life. God will help us. Hello? Joseph, am I communicating? Joseph? Hello?
Hi,
I
sir.
want Joseph to say hello to me. Just that you are laughing, say hello. So this last point that I buttress, many people are victim of this last one. So God will help us to honor our parents so that we'll be able to unlock our purpose on this earth. When Jacob was about to die, all things that Jacob prophesied, all those things that he spoke, so all the word manifested. He said, Reuben, you will become unstable. And Reuben was unstable throughout his life. We should not invite calls from our parents. We should try to receive blessing so that our parents also will use them to unlock our purpose in life. Deborah, I hope I'm communicating. Abraham, Ibrahim,
Yes, sir, you are communicating, sir.
Mark, I hope we are together. I
Yes,
want you
sir.
people to
We are
concentrate
together.
on it. Even though you don't have any question, I want you to buttress on this topic because it's a very significant topic. It's a very significant topic. So when they gave me this topic, I learned a lot from this topic. I learned a lot. It's a very significant topic. Even the one tomorrow, I'm going to log in to listen to the speaker. And I ask my own question. Okay. Okay. I can ask my own question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let me ask my own question. So, I was emphasizing on something concerning the mere existence. Mere existence. Eh? So I was emphasizing. Eh? And so mere existence and intentional living. Mere existence and intentional living. What is the correlation of mere existence and intentional living to this topic? Mere existence and intentional living. So because I emphasize that this alignment is what transforms mere existence into intentional living. So what is the correlation of mere existence to intentional living? And what is the difference between mere existence and intentional living? Relate. Okay.
Okay, let me try. Can anyone hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
We are listening.
According to my own understanding, mere existence and intentional living. My own in simple terms, mere existence is like living a passive life. You are not actively involved. Like the things you are supposed to take charge, take control in your life, you are just allowing it to pass. As in, you are not being intentional about it. Maybe you do a lot of things that you are supposed to have control over, like peer pressure, the kind of friends you mingle with, a lot of things. You are not having those control. You don't have self-control. Maybe what others tell you to do, that is what you prefer to do. I'll, I'll just call it as being mere existence or passive. But intentional living is when you when you are in control, when you are active, you are intentional of what you are doing. So even if you are moving with your peer group on your work of place or any places in your business, everything you do, you are very, very active in it. You are very, very participative. You are not just being passive about it. I think that is my own understanding of mere existence and intentional living. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. The next question, who answered for us? So, Abraham, we are waiting. Oh, Joseph, we are waiting. Deborah, Mark, we are waiting.
Please, the
Enojo,
question again. Sorry.
uh-huh.
Okay, it relates to the theme of our program in the sense that there are factors that help facilitate our purpose. They contribute to we achieving true purpose. Without all of these things, we cannot achieve purpose. We are created for a reason. So, with all of these factors, behavioral changes, environment, attitude, character, it helps us to realize and know who we are and how to achieve what we are here for. So that's what I think.
Thank you, Abraham. Any addition? Who can buttress it for us? Who can buttress it? Who
In
can?
in
Enojo,
general,
okay. Deborah, Deborah, we are waiting
I
for
think
you.
intentional living is the one.
How do they relate to our team? Unlock our purpose.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So just buttress it because the first speaker
No.
differentiating for us that mere existence is just going around doing things without any direction, without any goal. Anyhow, you'll be sleeping and waking up. Sometimes you wake up, you do not even pray, so you don't have any direction. Anywhere you like, you go. So there's no any purpose. And he said that intentional living is when you plan for your life. So you have a direction for your life, setting goal, and pursuing your passion. It is like you driving. So I mentioned driving a bus and not just riding a shotgun. So that is, you have purpose in life when you are living intentional living. So related to our topic, that is the mirror within, or understanding yourself. Unlock your. Mm, 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 mhm. Okay. 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 That's a relationship. Okay. I can still go on and to answer another question, or our time has gone. Okay. Okay. Well, my so the problem is that this is a first program.
The first program is just it's always like this. So tomorrow on, we will have Biro, have our Jota. As the speaker is talking, you'll be putting down some point where you'll be able to ask question from. So the first day always be like this. So let us stop at this point. So tomorrow on will be more interesting than this one. So organizer, okay. Uh, okay. Thank you. It is my pleasure, sir. Okay, bye bye, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Tomorrow again.
Until Friday. But
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the program. We appreciate you for the gift of this day. We thank you for everything you have done for us today. Thank you for giving us this privilege and opportunity. We pray that you continue to empower us. We pray that all we have listened to tonight We ask you, O God, that you continue to make it an impact in our life and in the world at large. Help us to build our faith in you. Help us to build and help us to control our uh, life. Let us. We pray that you will help us, not for us not to let others to control our life. Help us to control ourselves. Help us to help others also who are oppressed. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
I know about John. I know to get data. It was less than 100. Then I get one call on somebody. Well, just you.
Good night, Mr. Enejo.
Thank you for tonight.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
So your microphone was open.
It was on.
Never to